All right, welcome to the live stream. We're gonna start this very soon. You can see in the description, or maybe you saw it when you logged in, but I'm gonna paint a portrait of one of my favorites, Kid Cudi. I've been a fan of not only his music, but his creativity throughout his whole career, and especially now that he just dropped Man on the Moon 3. It is a colorful visual journey, and you know, he's like just one of those musical gems that we're lucky to have in this generation. So I'm gonna paint a portrait of him in what I would hope would interpret this Man on the Moon vibe. It's Friday night. Throughout this live stream, feel free to ask questions down below in the chat. I'll do my best to answer them. If you just have something on your mind, feel free to use the chat, and everything else. You could just, someone else said that their birthday is also on December 15th. Shout out to the Sagittarius people out there. Let's, all right. Yeah, this looks good. All right, let me get these brushes out. We had a busy day. We weren't really as prepared today. All right, let's get to it. Let's paint. So I'm gonna start right here. We're gonna create some aesthetics first of this, you know, Man on the Moon vibe. It's Friday night, December 11th. Wherever you are in the world, if this is your first time watching this live stream, just say I'm new. We can shout you out. And if you are back, if you've watched these live streams before, just say I'm back so we can show you some love. This is a very quick moon. You know, let's put in some other planets as well. So earlier I was telling my team here at the studio, I was just so grateful that I'm so happy to be spending my Friday nights so different now in a time like this. You know, instead of being out doing just random things, we get to be here in the studio creating on a Friday night, which I'm very, very grateful for. Come over here to this paint, this spray paint, see what we're working with. Just mist on a little bit of so when I start these paintings, I have a general idea of what I'm gonna do. I have a general plan of what I want to create, but the rest of it, you know, I really just try to let inspiration take place. And then these live streams are really just me creating in front of you. It's like I call it like my creative gym. ditch those brushes. And let's use this white to give this planet just a little bit of a glow. I'm gonna hold down on this just to get that splatter out from the can, because if you hold down on the tip of this lightly, but you let the air come out just slightly, you get more paint than air, and it kind of creates this splatter look on the canvas. If you're watching this live stream on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, or Periscope, you'll be able to see that up close. See what I'm talking about. All right, see that there. Let's just add a little bit of a glow around those other floating elements. I don't know what to call them yet, but maybe they're planets, maybe they're moons, maybe it's something else. We're just creating as we go. We'll turn this into something. Let's go get more white paint over here. All right, so we're gonna start with this. I'm just imagining that there's some stars in the back. I don't know. Just put those there. Now that we've established that, let's head over and get some darker skin tones, and we'll start building this up as well. So I like to start with these darker skin tones because they'll kind of sit in the background no matter what I paint on top of it, so I can change my mind as I go. And these colors will still be there in the end. Somehow they'll still find their way to the front. But when you're painting, I always recommend doing some sort of undertone. It gives your paintings a lot more depth. And it's also like that unsaid note that you leave behind on your painting that says that you spent a little extra time thinking about your process. So adding an undertone, no matter what color it is, right now I'm using a skin tone as an undertone. You can use really any color you want. Just kind of marking up this face, the different elements I want to add to it. So normally we do these live streams a lot earlier, but you know, it was a busy day, and I was saying earlier, it's better now than never. So let's also add some purple to this undertone. So someone just asked, what type of paint and brushes do I use? By the way, if you have a question, you can ask down below in the chat. So the paint that I use latex house paint as my medium. And I use that, one, because I normally travel a lot while I'm performing and painting these as performances around the world. And it's easy to access those based on the color palette that I have. And I can get them anywhere in the world. I also just like the fact that I can paint with one coat of paint. I don't need to add on several different layers. And then the brushes that I use, these are all just synthetic brushes, nothing that's like a natural hair brush. And I get them on there's an Amazon link in my bio. If you go to the link in my bio, it says Amazon Art Supplies. The same brushes will be there for you. All right, let's keep this moving, building up this portrait. Just one color at a time, that's all it is. Be patient with your painting process. You know, it's not always about just painting fast, but just trusting your process, however fast that is. Let's go back here. Let's get some of that light brown again. One other Cudi portrait before, and it was actually of one of his album covers. I think it was of the first Man on the Moon album cover. Okay, so someone asked, how do I paint the faces so perfectly? One, they're definitely not perfect, but two, a lot of it has to do with preparation. So as much as I could come up here and just kind of freestyle it, I take time before this to prep as much as I can. So that's part of how I'm able to do these quickly. And I always recommend do what works for you. Paint in a way that works for you as well. Also, just practice. You know, the best way you can improve at anything you do. I paint daily. I probably do hundreds of paintings a year. So I have plenty of time to make mistakes, do things that aren't perfect, and then move on to the next project. I'm using smaller brushes than normal to paint this portrait today because I do want to build up this portrait with some more texture, and I feel like the smaller brushes that I use, I'll get more of those singular brushstroke texture look throughout this. So someone asked, who's the man that I'm painting? You'll have to wait and see. If someone else in the chat knows who it is, you can let them know. That's a great question. So someone asked, how do I analyze the image basically for speed painting, for doing these portraits in a fast pace? It all starts with the original image you use as a reference. So it's not every portrait or picture makes a good reference to paint and perform live. So part of it is trying out different portraits and seeing what works and doesn't work for you. So that's the first part, is finding an image that works best for your speed and style. The other thing is just practicing and doing it time and time again to know again what techniques to use that work for your painting style as well. I'm always going to refer back to preparation in anything. When it comes to the paint that I use, or any technique is just based on trying something out, seeing what works and what doesn't. So someone said, have I ever met or sold a painting to Kid Cudi? I have not. But if you know him, you can link us up. That would be amazing. All right, I'm gonna start adding some, just some like dark grays to define a little bit of his hair up top. You know, we're not gonna go super detailed, but we just wanna give an impression that he does have texture to his hair. We'll use different colors as well as we build this up. Let's start with this gray. We'll go get some purple over here. Just really any color that will allow us to add texture. You know, sometimes when I'm trying to explain what I'm doing, I don't always fully understand why I use certain techniques, but I'll try my best to explain it as you ask questions. A lot of these things I have just done and learned instinctively, and anything I can pass on, if you can interpret it in your own style, that's also amazing. But I always encourage, just try it, see how it works for you. Let's add some texture to his facial hair as well. Start his eye color with a darker gray and then build up from there. We're not going to go white because it's shadowed, so we'll keep it somewhat light. We'll just use shades of gray to show a differentiation in color, but also to show that it's just lighter but still not fully lit with light. Switch brushes. Let's add some more highlights to the face. We're just building this thing up. I've shared this before on past live streams, but if you see me favoring a hand, it means that I haven't done this portrait before, and I'm favoring my other hand quite a bit. So someone asked, how do I get the shadows correct? And that's, again, just studying faces, just understanding the structure of faces. So no matter whether I have, remembered it from studying or not, you just understand the structure of a human face. So study, study, study. All right, let's have some fun with this. Let's get these. This is a good start, but it's definitely not done yet. So I want to take this. Let's just pull these colors up and out. I like how it's dripping right there. So what I'm doing is I'm gonna go back to this water and cause a greater drip by just adding more water to this paint and just adding pressure. Let's go grab some purples. remember the name of the artist who actually did the artwork for his latest album, but he's done album covers for everyone from Logic to 070 Shake and just a bunch of other like just really inventive and creative music artists. If someone can figure out who that is, I'd love to share the name. All right, let's get a clean brush. I'm gonna ditch that. Sam Pratt, that's great. Yes, so Sam Pratt is the artist who created the most recent Kid Cudi album cover and also some other favorites. Again, a lot of Logic's album covers as well. All right. Would love to know your thoughts. Please leave your thoughts down below in the chat. What do you think about this portrait as it's coming to life? What questions do you have as a creator? How can we help you? Feel free to ask away. So here's what we're getting at right now. You're getting to that fine line of not overdoing it or finding a balance between what's happening over here, and that's what I'm going to play with right now in front of you. I'm figuring this out as I go, and we'll see how we can create this balance of this world on this canvas. I'm going to pull some of this black now. Let's go get this spray paint. Let's play with this a little bit. Before we do that, just find a working spray tip. While I'm putting the spray tip on, let's go check out some of the comments in the chat. Appreciate the love. So LaDonna Edwin is coming back and said, I left when it was planets. The painting is ever evolving. It'll always change. I don't even know what's gonna happen next, to be honest. This is when you just trust the creative process. You don't know what's gonna happen next. I do have some yellow over here. Let's get a spray tip on this. We're gonna add this to this middle moon. There we go. Just want this thing to just pop a little bit more. So I'm gonna add a little bit more glow to it. Got mist around it, and then what we'll do is we'll add, imagine that this is a light source, and we'll add, let me just get that going. Bit of all those objects around it give a little indication that there's light emitting from this on that object. Now let's just add some more over here. We haven't even gotten to throwing paint yet, so just put and those paint fumes are starting to kick in.
Let's make the most of this night. Come on, baby, take my hand. And we don't need to do the things we
Let's splash a little bit of color on this canvas. We're gonna add some water to the paint so that it flies a little bit more. And then we'll go in this upward direction to follow. The direction is paint again. Trying to find how do we create balance in this. And still, I feel like there's still needs to be something down here. I don't know what it is yet, but in the meantime, you know what, let's do this. We've got a lot of warm stuff over here. Let's put some cool colors down below on the left. There we go. Even. You know, what I love so much about painting is the freedom. It's like we started this as a blank canvas. This was nothing. I started with a moon over here on this side, and knowing that there are no rules to follow, that we're really just enjoying the process as we go, it really gives you a lot more freedom when you create, when you realize that there are no rules to break. It is lessons to learn. It's stuff that we can apply to future paintings. It just makes life a lot easier when you think about it that way. Just want to do a little splatter coming off of this moon in the center. Those of you just joining, just painting something inspired by Kid Cudi's new album, Man on the Moon 3. I've been following him since Man on the Moon 1. And it's easy to pull inspiration from a creative like himself. So I still feel like this needs a little bit more love down here with some cool colors. So let's get that blue. Let's just mist it a little bit. Maybe the mist is starting down here and it's just kind of dissipating as it gets up higher. So we've now framed this with some cool colors. We have this middle section that's warm. Got the blue and green now over here. All right, let's throw some paint around, then we'll end this with a hand slap. Hope you're enjoying this late night live stream. Here we go. All right, take one last look at this Kid Cudi portrait. I'm gonna clean up my hands and we're gonna spend a little bit more time after this to chat, but for right now, take a closer look at Kid Cudi inspired by Man on the Moon 3. Those of you watching this live stream, I just wanna say thank you. Thank you for taking the time on this Friday night to be with us. Don't go anywhere yet, but if you're wondering, or if you even think about this, how can you support this live stream and how can we keep this going? To be honest, the best way to support is to hit the subscribe button, to like it, to share these videos. That is the absolute best way to support these live streams. Helps us keep doing these weekly for you. We do them every Thursday and Friday. We try to do it every Thursday and Friday as much as we can. But take that one last look at Kid Cudi, inspired by Man on the Moon. And then let's chat. All right, welcome back everybody. We can take that middle URL off, there we go. So take one last look. That is the Kid Cudi portrait inspired by the new album release. And let's bring Instagram and TikTok back over here as well. All right, welcome back everyone. I'm sweating. Kimberly Pinson, thank you so much for sharing this video. Thank you, Rick Zuniga. We'll show you one more look at this portrait of Kid Cudi that I just created today on this live stream, but you know, it's Friday night. I appreciate you all joining us. There we go, and we're back. All right, so Instagram, hang tight. I'll give you guys a close look in just a little bit. But for now, I just want to thank everybody on YouTube, Twitch, Periscope, and what else? And Facebook for watching this live stream. Appreciate it. And again, best way to support these live streams is to subscribe, like, follow, or even just share these videos if you already do all of that. We'll be doing another live stream next Thursday and Friday, so be ready, stay tuned for that. To follow my daily posts, follow my Instagram at Garibaldi Arts, and also just to get exclusive news, especially we have an exclusive drop that I'm doing next week. Sometimes we only do releases for my text list. That's the number down below. Just text the word ARTLIFE to 58885. It'll enter you to win one of my original paintings like that Kid Cudi, and then also you'll get exclusive updates as well in the meantime. So, all right, happy Friday. Don't go anywhere. I'll give you guys a closer look on Instagram. For right now, over here, take one last look at Kid Cudi. I appreciate you all so much. There we go. Thank you. You guys want to see it?